Hello from the other side of the wall, because I'm here in the kitchen instead of in the front room to begin with, here on Saturday, October the 26th. Well, I've made myself some beans, some of Mom's little bean soup, whatever, or bean, I don't know if it's soup. I had noodles at some point earlier. I've been awake a bit longer today, for some reason. But no, what I ended up doing today, maybe while I was in here making my noodles, I don't know. I now have a proper trash receptacle in the kitchen. Because I bought some, I might want to, if I'm going to do this from now on, I might want to buy some more legitimate, double your pleasure, double your fun, double mint gum, spearmint, whatever I was just fucking saying. I don't know. Anyway, professionalism. I might want to get some more legitimate, trash bags, because I just bought some from the Dollar Tree the other day, which is conveniently where I bought my noodles, and those are pretty good, little shrimp thingy, whatever. But anyway, I decided to tie a bag here to the door of the oven, because I never use the oven because we saw my snacks the other day, I piled up there. So now I have a trash bag there because, a lot of times I'll just be sitting on the couch and my trash receptacle that I had in there was just kind of a popcorn can, so it didn't really hold very much. So like when I was done drinking my, my plastic, not glass, plastic bottles of Pepsi, I just kind of throw them in the other room, and I'm like, I'll get them later when I pick all this shit up, So now I have a place for those to go, and I took, because that's why I keep the things from the, my cases of soda. I've been using those as, and there's a backup. I found a backup Shirley Temple. There was only 2 on the shelf the other day, so I grabbed one. So that actually has soda in it. Soda pop. But that's what I actually use for like my trash cans, because it's like, they're already here, they're empty. I mean, they actually hold quite a bit, unless you're throwing away like cans and stuff in them a whole lot. Or papers, as Mom has a tendency to do when she's here. So I ended up giving myself the toy box, as they said, when I bought it from Those Were the Days, a local flea market antique store. But that's now my trash can in here, and I put the popcorn can over here for Mom to use. So I did a little bit of rearranging, however you want to say that, however you want to call that. So now I have maybe a more legitimate trash system here. So that was one thing I did. That's about the only thing I did today, besides watching random YouTube videos and bullshit. I haven't watched anything important. I don't know. I don't think for many of my shows that I'm trying to keep up on, they're all starting to come back, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I'm like at least 2 episodes behind on the Daryl Dixon show. And apparently, like, people have died in both of the episodes. So, I mean, spoiler alert, I guess, if you're not watching it. But it's like, oh my god. TV Line always says something about it. I'm like, oh, damn it. But, so far, Gail has not, let me check. Last time I looked, which was earlier today, oh my god, don't do that. Gail had not uploaded the thing from the ghost story thing from last night. And I still don't see it, but his last video says the Hocus Pocus Tarot card reading for October 25th. But I know he does things through his phone, and it takes him a while to upload stuff, and then at one point he was having problems because it wasn't wanting to upload things, or it'll upload them out of the order that he uploaded them in. Like, I noticed, I watched his question of the day for October 25th, before October 24 even had uploaded. So I ended up, by the time I was done with day 25, day 24 was higher in my subscription feed. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'll watch that one too while I'm here. So, but as soon as that becomes available, I will try to remember to link it, because I'm curious to see what it was that I missed, because I was going to go to that, but then, you know, fell asleep instead. So maybe that's why I've been able to be... Oh, no, I fell asleep again. What I did, I watched some creepy videos. Yeah, I fell asleep before the one was over, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I was asleep until like 1 p.m. today, I think, is when I finally woke up. A little after 1 p.m. maybe. So, yeah. And here it is, 8 p.m. Yeah, 7:56. Getting a little late in the day, but not as late as yesterday. So, answering our question for the day, which is, what do you need to close the chapter on? What do you need to close the chapter on? Well, I have one specific. I know that's not what it's. I know it's not what it's saying. It's not what it's asking. I have one specific fanfic that I am two posts, whatever you would call them. I'm 2 posts away from having it finished. That's my Nadesco badfic. That's my original. I mean, you know, there was it was Anime Club many years ago in college. You know, probably like 20 years ago when this started, at least. When we were watching Nadesco, and you know, a couple of the guys were talking about, you know, writing a bad fanfic on purpose. And then Steve pointed at me because he knew I did writing. He's like, you got to do this too. I'm like, okay. And this is back in the day of LiveJournal. Like, this started at LiveJournal probably early 2000s, probably at least like 20-ish years ago. I wrote the first chapter, and it's like, every you know, like, I kind of, like, the epilogue is planned. I have one chapter left, and then the epilogue, which is a joke that I set up so fucking long ago. I set it up so long ago. There's like one final joke, which is probably not very appropriate, but who cares? Maybe. But it's like, I've had that joke set up for so fucking long. Oh my god. So I'm 2 chapters away from finish, and it's a bad fanfic. It doesn't have to go out in a blaze of glory. There doesn't have to be this giant battle at the end. You just be kind of like, okay, shit happened and it's over. You know, it's supposed to be a bad fanfic. Actually, that would be fitting with the idea, you know, but whatever. So that's something I need to finish. I know it's talking probably more about like situations in your life, and you know, situations maybe with, you know, like a bad job or a bad relationship or whatever, or blah 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 blah. But I don't really feel like I have those. I mean, you know, I've had problems. What do you need to close the chapter on? I mean, and things like my friends that we discussed in that one episode, like Mark, who hasn't talked to me. I mean, we talk in public, but as far as like hanging out as friends or being as close as we used to be, I mean, you know, that isn't a thing anymore. We're not really a part of each other's lives at all anymore. You know, he unfriended everybody on Facebook and whatever. It's kind of like he decided to let Sarah have the old life and the old friends, and he would just start over anew or whatever. Because I still have Sarah on Facebook. She has a kid now, and, you know, she's got a job she enjoys, and she just did an art show with her residents, and, you know, she seems to be fairly happy, I guess, anyway. But it's like, that door's not, to me, Minxie's going to play with some shit on the floor while I'm discussing important things. Like, to me, that door just isn't closed, you know? Like, if Mark were to ever come back and say, hey, let's hang out, let's go get a cheeseburger or something, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's catch up. You know, like, that friendship is not closed forever. My internet friend that, you know, after 10 years of friendship, kind of fell apart, you know? I mean, I don't know if she's really willing to take me back, but, you know, like if she wanted to come back and like try to work through what happened, you know, then I'd be like, yeah, sure. I mean, the door isn't really closed on those situations, because it's like, I mean, if they want to come back, and I mean, you know, like we can see if we can work it out. You know what I mean? Like I'm not I'm not against that. I'm not above that, you know, or anything. I mean, the only situation that I would ever say was closed, and I mean it's closed permanently now. But like my situation with my father, like I quit caring about that shit when I was like 15 years old. You know, I was like, he came back into my life, he fucked it up one last time, I was done. Like that was it. You know, like I didn't need to put myself through that anymore. I didn't deserve to put myself through that anymore. Let's put that out there. You know what I mean? Like I deserved better, and I just never talked to him again. And he's dead now. So I don't, so many years ago, I don't know, he was in the hospital and one of his friends stopped by Mom's house and you know, told her what was going on or whatever. He didn't say specifically, you know, I guess, you know, but like Mom was like, well, do you want to go see him? She called me. She did her due diligence. She called me. She let me know, hey, your father's in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. Like, he hadn't been a part of my life since I was 15, and I was over 30. Like half of my life ago is when, you know, like, that situation occurred. And it's like, he hadn't been a part of my life for 15 years. Like, I wasn't missing anything. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't anything to miss, because it was already gone. It was, like, done a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, that was put to bed, and it's like, you know, so that door was or chapter. How did I keep forgetting how they word it? Chapter. Close the chapter on. There might be some people who are still dealing with, like, oh, my father didn't hug me enough when I was younger or whatever. But I don't know. Like, I dealt with that shit when I was 15, and it was done. It was over. So like, you know. But it's like, Mom, she did her due diligence. She called and she was like, well, she was telling me what was happening. I'm like, okay. And like. And, you know, she's like, well, do you want to go see him? Blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, Mom, you're not the one in the hospital. I'm fine. You know, like, I'm fine. It's okay. It's cool. You know. So I don't really know. Like, there again, I don't live a very dramatic life. So I don't have, like, this soap opera, telenovela, drama going on in my life about, oh, I need to close the door on that or whatever, you know, close the chapter. I don't know. Like, I mean, I suppose coming up, depending on how my health goes. Yeah, but I was just thinking about that today. Like, you know, they sucked the blood clots out of me in July, and like I did go back to see the doctor one time, and he didn't really say much of anything. He was just kind of like, oh, you haven't been to see the hematologist yet? And I was like, no, they never called me, and they still haven't called me. But apparently, you know, that's not how referrals work. That you can be referred to this person and they will never call you, apparently. That's what people keep telling me. Like, you have to call them, and I'm in no hurry. I'm in no rush to pay more money to someone else for something else. You know, like, that. I mean, multiple people have told me, like, my insurance is not going to pay for that. They don't see that as a, you know, as a necessity. They're not going to pay for a hematologist to figure out if my blood genetically, I guess, wants to clot more than other people's blood or something. Turn into jelly, as one person was telling me. A comment, actually it turned out to be a local person who, like, knew Overland Park or was from Overland Park or something. He was telling me his mother-in-law, she had that problem, and it's like her blood would, like, want to turn to grape jelly, basically. So he was saying that might be the issue with me. That, I mean, I guess the hematologist, I don't know, they basically put me on Eliquis, and they're like, all right, peace out. Like, nobody's really said anything. And, you know, I set up that because they wanted me to have a primary care physician. So, you know, I did that, and I went to see her, and she didn't even really, like, Mom was like, have her look at that thing on your foot, because I have, like, this big thing that, like, kind of looks like a big bruise that I've had since, like, the beginning of the year. So I guess I've had it for almost a year. My mom's very concerned about it, and it's like, I mean, I guess I should be concerned about it because I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's just there. Like I assumed like it was cold weather and I was like scratching a lot, so I thought it was just like, that kind of thing, but it's still like it warmed up and it's still there. So, but the doctor, she took a look at it. She said I had thrombosis in my foot because it looks like a lot of veins, like kind of like varicose veins, I guess. She said something about thrombosis in my foot when she took a look at it, but she didn't really say much about it, like what to do, like, like nobody's really given me much advice on like, do this so that, you won't, don't, like, nobody's told me to change my diet yet, like, or anything. Nobody's told me to drink less soda popses, no, nobody's really told me much anything. So it's kind of like, I mean, there again, I really haven't seen the doctors much. I go back to Kadwani in January because he's going to do the echo thing on my heart and see if it's functioning the way that it should. Because I guess they did notice that my heart was, it was depleted or something. I can't remember exactly the word that they used, but they thought the blood clots in my lungs might have been interfering with my heart and the process and the way that it's supposed to work. So they just want to go in there and make sure that everything's hunky-dory, basically, I guess. But that's not until, of course, that was the first time that I could get in to see him was January. But it's like, I don't know, like I haven't really had much contact with anyone. And like Overland Park was calling for a little while to schedule an outpatient procedure or something, and I kept forgetting to call them back, and then they stopped calling me, and now I just don't even think about it anymore. I wonder if that was my color guard thing. Like, I still haven't shit in the box, so I don't know. But so maybe someday soon, depending on how my health goes, I might have to close the chapter on junk food and eating like a fucking pig. But so far, not yet. So I'm going to keep eating trash. And drinking trash, as people would say, Like, nobody's told me to eat less cheeseburgers yet. So, I mean, I guess I could be preemptive about it and just eat less cheeseburgers myself. But Mary Lee just showed me they're coming out with like apparently, unless it's an internet lie, you never know. They're coming out with 3 new Whoppers next month. It's like there's like a bourbon barbecue one and a Mexican street corn one. And then she shared something from Jimmy John's where they're making their sandwiches with the pickle. I'm like, I gotta try at least one of those. Well, I thought the pickle was like on the inside of a bun, but apparently the pickle is the bun. I don't know. That sounds weird and like sloppy to me, but juicy. I don't know. That might be kind of weird. I don't know. So I thought there was some kind of bun to hold it all together, but the bun is the pickle. But there's like a pickle ranch or something Whopper that they're coming out with, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to try all of those. All 3 sound very good. Yeah, fried pickle ranch Whopper, maple bourbon barbecue Whopper. So there's those 2 that apparently, and then there's the Mexican street corn Whopper. So I don't know who that little guy is. Is that the group? Or maybe that's because she took a screenshot. So maybe that's somebody she was talking to on Messenger, maybe? So apparently, Marky Devo? Oh, that's his picture, because he's up here. He's up here in the thing. That's the profile picture, and then that's him down there. So maybe he's putting his stamp on it. But you can also get pickle fries, apparently. Drops November 14th. $1 Million Whopper contest. People have devised these Whoppers, and I guess they're going to find out which one wins. I don't know if somebody wins. I don't know. So, in November, I'm going to be eating me some Whoppers, because those look pretty fucking good. But maybe someday soon-ish, within the next year, maybe, depending on what the doctors tell me, maybe I will have to close the door on, eating whatever I want. But that is not a thing yet. So I'm just going to continue to do what I do. I mean, they made it sound like it wasn't even that bad. Like I said, I think with like being pre-diabetic, whatever the bad number was, I was below it somehow. Even though I eat nothing but crap, and I don't take very good care of myself. Like, it's like how, like, the bad number was 6.5 and I was like 6.1, like very close. Like, but as Brandy and Mark Will says, almost doesn't count apparently, because they didn't really seem too concerned about that. So I don't know. But not yet. That is not a chapter that I have to close yet. So we'll see when the time comes how good I am about closing it. So, you know, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, there's not really anything I can think of, any situation in my life right now, because it's like, it's just go to work, come home, go to other work, come home, sleep, go to work. Like, it's not, I mean, it's just a basic existence, you know. Not a whole lot of drama involved, not a whole lot of problems, not a whole lot of issues, not a whole lot of beef with anyone or anything necessarily, you know what I mean? Like, so I can't really think of what I would need to close the chapter on, or the door, or the window, or my eyes. You know, blink, blinkety blink blink. Maybe I guess you could say I need to close the chapter on, you know, speaking of like arranging things and rearranging my trash cans, whatever, like arranging my apartment. I need to close the chapter on not having my apartment organized, and, you know, my shit displayed, and, you know, getting some bookshelves and displaying shit on the bookshelves and all that sort of thing. Like get my place more organized and less looking like just random shit sitting around everywhere, because right now it's random shit sitting around everywhere. I've lived here for, what, 4 or 5 years? I don't know. What is time? It's a construct. It's one long blur, I can tell you that. It's one long fucking blur. At least the parts that I'm conscious for. Because as we've seen twice now, I can be in the middle of a sentence or finish a sentence and start to doze off. It's happened twice now in my videos. So you can see, just like I watched that moment the other day, and like I had just finished a sentence, and then I was like dozing off. I just finished a fucking sentence and I was dozing off. Oh my god. But so I don't have any problems going to sleep for sure. But so maybe one of these days, I would say one of these days when I'm not working 2 jobs, but I was not working 2 jobs for many, many years, and I still didn't get this place organized. Or the house. I lived in the house for almost 10 fucking years, and I didn't ever, like, I got the shelves out and displayed some of my Funko Pops, you know, and I put shelves up along the top of the wall to display more Funko Pops. But that was all I ever did. Everything else was just kind of a pile of random shit, you know. That's just kind of how I live, I guess. Piles of random shit that I'll deal with someday, wink wink, you know. But so yeah, I guess you could say that. I need to close the chapter on having a bunch of random shit sitting around. I would like to close the chapter on, you know, owing all this money to other people, but that's a work in progress, so we shall see. But anyway, we shall see. But yeah, I don't really know. Don't really have a good answer on that. I just realized the shrimp thing that I was telling you guys about is on the floor here. I bought this savory shrimp thing at the at the Dollar Tree, not Dollar Tree, because I think this was like $1.25. But see, now I have a trash bag in the kitchen. Then yes, I'm moving this around. Minxie's, you didn't want it. You didn't want it. I offered it to you when I was done with it, and you just looked at me like I was fucking stupid. Yes, you did. Kind of like you're looking at me now. No, I offered this to her when I was done with it, and she was like, you know. But that doesn't mean she's not going to come back a few days from now or a week from now. Because there's some sausage in that salad, bean, soup, whatever that Mom gave me. And I put a couple pieces on her little plate for her, and she just walked away from it. But that doesn't mean she's not going to come back tomorrow or a week from today and actually eat them. She waits for them to get hard and stale, and then she eats them. It's weird sometimes, but it's like, she's like, ooh, what's this? Something I offered you 2 days ago and you didn't eat, but now you are. So I'll just leave this on the floor for a little bit in case she wants to check it out. Apparently it's something new because it was on the floor. It's been on the floor for a couple hours now, probably. But I picked it up, and she's like, what do you got? What is it? Same fucking thing that I put down there 2 fucking hours ago, or whenever it was. But anyway, but yeah, that's the shrimp thing that I got from the not Dollar Tree. Because I think that was, like I said, $1.25. But okay, whatever. Yeah, that's what you did. Oh, goodness. So, but anyway, that's the best answer I guess I've got for you, and somehow still was very, very long answer for no reason. Because I didn't have a good answer, but it is what it is, I suppose. But, anyway, I've got a bean soup to eat and this video to upload. So I'm going to do that and see if Gail has the thing from last night uploaded. If not, I'll just link his most recent video, the tarot card thing. One of them will be here by my face eventually. And, other than that, I'll see you for what I see you. And so will Macy, because she's down here too.